The bells and the singing of the Gloria announce that it is Christmas again, especially in Bethlehem. A Christmas that still has to deal with the restrictions due to the pandemic. No tourists and pilgrims, but this year some Christians from Gaza have arrived again. It is already the second year that Bethlehem breathes Christmas with only one lung, with the local Christians and without the pilgrims. You can also live with only one lung, but you do not live well. We want to look at the positive aspects because Christmas is also the time when we have to look in the child, the hope that comes among us. The presence of the Christians of Gaza, of a part of them, is a positive sign.
We are
so happy. My daughters had never been out of Gaza. They had never seen Bethlehem. Finally, we're here. A light of hope in the midst of difficulties. I received many gifts, but the most beautiful one was the visit to Gaza, the look of the children, the joy of those children, simple but full of life. It was the most beautiful gift, the most beautiful comfort of this year. Christmas Day in Bethlehem began with a solemn entrance of the Patriarch of Jerusalem of the Latins, His Beatitude PIERBATTISTA PIZZABALLA, on the morning of December the 24th. For Christmas, every year, we come to the square of the Nativity for the entrance of the Patriarch, all here together to celebrate in this feast of love and peace. The welcome at the tomb of Rachel, the walk through the old city accompanied by the scouts, up to the square of the Nativity, where since the morning a small crowd of believers gathered. The desire to celebrate is great, as well as the joy of finding oneself in this city where everything began. Bethlehem, because it's the city where Jesus was born, where I feel my religious belonging. Here, something great has happened. I came here for the Feast of Christmas to celebrate together with my Christian brothers. We come to see the Basilica of the Nativity. We see things we don't know. We entered the Church of the Nativity and saw where the child was born. We celebrate together with our Christian brothers and sisters. After greeting the faithful in the streets of Bethlehem, Patriarch PIZZABALLA greeted the authorities and the Franciscan friars of the custody of the Holy Land in front of the Basilica of the Nativity, then entered the Basilica for a moment of community prayer. The message I feel like saying, the only one I have in my heart, is the one I told the community. Let us look forward with confidence. We are in dire need of hearing from His witnesses, especially from the Church, that God's word is being fulfilled. Jesus is still present. Hope is not just thinking that it will be okay, but it is the certainty that good is already in our midst. We gather for the Mass of the night, the Mass of the announcement that God became man. The Patriarch presided over the Mass in St. Catherine's Church, next to the Basilica of the Nativity. Also present were the Palestinian authorities, including the Prime Minister, Mohammad Shtayyeh. The President of the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas, did not attend. In the nearby Field of Shepherds, the celebration of the Apostolic Delegate for Jerusalem and Palestine, Monsignor Adolfo Tito Iana. During his homily, the Patriarch reviewed the lights and shadows of this year, hoping for justice and freedom for a people tired of waiting to be allowed to live freely with the dignity in their own land and home.
What is needed are not concessions, but the recognition of rights and an end to years of occupation and violence, with all their dramatic consequences on the life of each individual and the community at large. We need to create new relationships in which not distrust, but mutual trust reigns.
a possible coexistence in the light of Christmas.
In that child is the love that enters the world, that remains in every moment of history, that is an endless adventure that can truly change everything. The Church still invites us today to recognize this mystery that continues to manifest itself among us.
The celebrations closed with a procession to the Grotto of the Nativity. The gospel of Jesus' birth was proclaimed, and the Patriarch laid a statue of the baby Jesus at the site of his birth.